and welcome to The Light Side. My name is Kate Longenecker and I'm your host. On tonight's episode, Bowling Green just hosted a huge event, a tennis player who won a title, but it's not what you think, and I caught up with a recent International League Hall of Fame inductee. But first, the Mud Hens third baseman Mike Hessman, very well known in the International League. I asked him why he decided to put on a Mud Hens uniform one more time.
It was a pretty easy choice going into the offseason. I had a couple different offers from some teams and some contacts, but seeing the opportunity that LP was coming back and some familiar faces with Bowl and everyone that's been here. So when I finally got the call from the Tigers, it was an easy decision to come this way.
The decision was easy to look into for head coach Larry Parrish, who coached Hessman when the Mud Hens won back-to-back Governor's Cups in 2005 and 2006.
I knew what the organization had coming here, and I knew we were a little light in the third base area, and I knew Mike had been playing first base down in Louisville, but you know, I had had him a long time, knew what kind of third baseman he was, and I knew what kind of character he had. So when I decided to take the job here, I told Dave Owens, that Hessman was out there, he was available, and we'd like to have him. And so they wound up signing him, and he's been doing even more than what we expected. He seems like a good wine. He's getting better with age.
After being away from the Detroit organization since 2009, I asked Hessman what it's been like for him being back in a Mud Hens uniform.
It feels just like the old times, back in, I don't know, my first year was 05 maybe. So we picked up right where we left off. We still have a great time. We can hang out away from the field and play some golf and then come here and really get after it and do our work. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
It's been fun being back for Mike, but more importantly, it's been a learning experience for the younger players who are new to AAA ball, being advised by a guy who spent 18 seasons in the minor leagues. To put that into perspective, some of the new Mud Hens were toddlers when Hessman started his minor league career.
Very valuable there. He's a guy that guys lean on. They look for him to get the big hit. And just knowing that he's there and that lineup takes the pressure off some of the younger guys. And we have a lot of them here this year. We had a lot of first-year guys at this level. And so having a guy like Mike is real important this year. But even more than that, it's what he brings to the bench, to the clubhouse. The way he goes about his job, the work that he puts in to prepare to go out there and play. And for young guys like that too, that know the difference between injury and pain. During the course of a long baseball season, you're going to have some nicks and you be banged up a little bit. And they say that, they see this guy go in the training room, get ice, get heat, get taped, and come back out here and play, night after night. And it just shows them, just an example, showing these guys what it takes to play this game a long time and be a successful player.
Mike Hessman leading things off, and there it goes. Way back, and Ollie Carnegie has company.
He's certainly been a successful player on paper. He just hit his 400th career home run, being only the 6th player to do so. I asked Larry Parrish what the team thinks of his record-breaking numbers.
Well, it's something that we're all aware of, and that's a lot of home runs. I don't care what kind of ball you're playing and what league you're playing at, and to do it at this level here, it's an unbelievable stat.
The Mud Hens also put up unreal stats in 2005, winning 89 games and taking home the coveted Governor's Cup, which is awarded to the winner of the International League. They did it again in 2006, and Hessman gave me a glimpse of the team who won it all.
The group of guys that we had in the clubhouse, still probably to this day, probably one of the best clubhouses that I've been involved in with the team. It was one of those years that you came to the field knowing that you were going to win. It didn't matter if we were down 5-6 runs in the 6th inning. It still felt like we were going to win, and it was a real special year.
Hessman is hoping that this year will also be a special one, with goals that all Toledo fans would love to see come to light.
Obviously to help the team win some games, hopefully to get back into the playoffs and put another championship team together, and then to help the younger guys coming up through the system to try to share some of my knowledge onto them and help them any way I can.
And after 18 seasons, Mike has learned enough to help any player improve and see the game differently.
It's more in-game type stuff, you know, whether it be situations of running at the right times or maybe trying to give yourself up at the plate and move a guy over at a certain time. Kind of things like that, knowing where to play with runners and being aware of who's running and who's in the outfield, how the outfield's arms are, can the catcher throw, just little things like that that can kind of add up in the course of a game.
But what comes next for Mike Hessman? It's no secret that coaching after his career is over is something he's considered.
I would love to stay in the game. This is all I've known since high school, man. I've started right out of high school and been playing ever since. So to be able to be in the game for so long and have an opportunity to keep playing, I feel extremely fortunate, and I would love to pass on that knowledge to the younger group of guys coming up now.
As for this season or when Mike is planning on officially retiring, he told me that it depends on his health, and as of right now, he still feels he can help the team win and can compete at a high level. As long as he can keep healthy and keep going, he'd love to keep playing the game. Coming up later in the show, a Mud Hens announcer's huge accomplishment, but coming up next, a wrestler takes her from the floor to the court. Stay tuned.
BCSN is going from your home to your home screen. Now take your favorite live local sports with you wherever you go with the Watch BCSN app. Just download the app, and in moments you'll be streaming the BCSN networks live directly to your smartphone or tablet. Watch BCSN is available for both iOS and Android devices and is free for all Buckeye cable system subscribers.
Welcome back to the light side here at beautiful Fifth Third Field. Now, if you want to play competitive tennis, there's certain fundamentals you need to understand. You need to have a good forehand, a good backhand, a good slice, and so many other elements to the game. Well, there's a player from Central Catholic who picked up on these basic skills so quickly that he started the season playing first doubles. Oh, and by the way, he just won his second state title in wrestling. So why did senior Alex Mossing decide to go out for the tennis team in the first place?
Dugan Delp asked me to come out on the tennis team. He said we needed some more people to play. So I said, I'll give it a shot. I like trying new things, trying new sports. It's fun, something I'll probably be doing later in life, so might as well start right now.
So who urged Alex to try out? None other than Dugan Delp, Central Catholic's #1 single star. But why did he ask him to play?
So I knew he's a great athlete, obviously, with the state championships and the way he just picked up golf the way he did. So I knew he would be a great asset to the team.
And Alex has been an asset to the team. According to Delp, he's a great athlete in many ways.
A lot of hard work, great work ethic, a lot of fun, of course, and a different perspective as far as competition and being motivated.
His motivation is one of several qualities that has made head coach Jesse McDonald feel confident in using him on the courts. But he brings a lot more than just that.
Well, one, I think it's his leadership, right? That's more off the court, so he set a tremendous example for our guys on how to compete and how to handle himself off the court. I think all the guys look up to him. Obviously, they know him in school as a winner and as a proven athlete. And I think just his athleticism and his ability to make our kids want to get better. And it's just you see some stuff with the naked eye that you don't see with most players, right? Just some shots he hits. It's just natural ability. So we're lucky to have him.
The Central Catholic wrestling team was also lucky to have Mossing, who just won his second state title and will be attending Air Force next year. So what can Alex take from this tennis season that can help him be a better wrestler?
A lot of tennis is kind of more staying calm instead of just being able to go out and use all your aggression, because a lot of times you end up hitting it out. So just staying calm during a wrestling match, be able to just be poised and ready to go.
Obviously, footwork's a big part of the game. That's a big a plus and advantage for Alex is his footwork. I think it would help him in his wrestling career.
Looking at Mossing's wrestling career, tennis has helped him to be both physically and mentally prepared to wrestle at the Air Force Academy, which he chose because the team is young and on the rise. But rising to the challenge is something that he has become no stranger to. From the tennis courts to the Bowling Green Ice Arena, what would bring together skating legends from all over the world? Well, that would be the fight against a common goal. Here's more from the rink. Bowling Green recently hosted Skate for Hope, which is an organization that has already raised over $500,000 to help find a cure for breast cancer. Big names such as Emily and Sarah Hughes, Max Aaron, and several others came out as headliners to support the cause. Scott Hamilton said it was an easy decision to make when asked to be a part of the event.
It's a trifecta. It's cancer, it's skating, and it's Bowling Green. I'm not missing that. So I'm here. I'm excited to be a part of the show and to be on Bowling Green ice again. And it's just really great to see, like, Rachel Platt and Max Aaron, and it's just a great cast and good people, and they raise money for breast cancer research.
Hamilton started his skating career at BGSU and went on to win gold in the 1984 Olympics. After his battle with cancer, he became very involved in raising cancer awareness. Many of the headliners have been a part of Skate for Hope year after year, and I asked Scott why.
I think they just see the value in it. They see that they can really truly make a difference in the world. And you don't have to be like the one that's doing all the the orchestration of everything. You can be a participant on any level, and you're part of creating that force. It's an easy invitation to accept.
The invitation was easy to accept for Emily Samuelson, an Olympic ice dancer who has been touched by cancer.
I've been part of this event for 6 years now, and Skate for Hope means a lot to me. My grandmother was affected by breast cancer and is a survivor. And when I was 12 years old, one of my best friend's mothers was diagnosed with breast cancer. So this show means a lot to me, to be able to give back, and now to have met Carolyn and so many other amazing women who have been affected by this terrible disease and who have overcome it. So this means a lot to be able to do something and give back in some small way.
Even the song she chose for her program had a deeper meaning.
It was a song, One Day I'll Fly Away, from Moulin Rouge, that I could really put my heart into and put a lot of emotion into. And I'll skate it for all of the women out there who are affected by breast cancer and all of the friends who are affected by it too.
The song Alexi Giles, a Canadian figure skater, chose had lyrics that spoke to survivors.
I'm skating to Katy Perry's Unconditionally. Just it's a loving song and just wanting to empower women to never stop fighting for what is right and their health and keep fighting for their life.
Skate for Hope has shown that everyone in some way has been touched by cancer. Rachel Platt, a U.S. Olympian, was skating with a specific person in mind.
I know a number of people who have been affected by breast cancer, especially some of my friends and actually one of my previous coaches, my very first coach in San Diego, and so I'll be skating for her today.
Samuelson, Flatt, and Giles were among several headliners who came out to support the cause. But it wasn't just the headliners that took to the ice. Children and young adults who raised over $450 had the opportunity to skate with their idols. But what advice did the headliners have for the young skaters?
Enjoy every step. Enjoy every single time you're on the ice. And a spotlight is a powerful thing. You can really allow people to just focus on you, focus on why you're here, focus on what you're doing. You know, the ultimate thing is they're raising money for cancer research, and they're giving a gift to someone who'll never know the origin of it, which is a phenomenal gift. But, you know, there are shows like this that only happen once, so enjoy every moment of it.
I would probably just say keep having fun and keep doing these shows and raising money for people in need, and those just fight for their loved ones, and you know that carries a lot through life, and so it's very important.
Work hard, but enjoy it. You know, skating can be such a wild ride and a crazy journey, but you know, it's one of those things that if you love it, it makes it so much better, makes the experience just absolutely incredible and that much more memorable.
The individual fundraisers played a huge role in raising money for this event, but what can you do to get involved?
Well, I think, you know, the main thing is we're here to raise funds, and it doesn't matter if it's $10 or $5 or $20. Every little bit counts, you know, so go, you know, check out skateforhope.org or scottcares.org and find out a way to just, you know, whatever donation you can do. It, you know, really helps us, you know, with our goals of reaching certain milestones of funding and you know, finding the next scientist to make the next miracle happen.
And just like Scott Hamilton said, you can go to skateforhope.org or scottcares.org if you'd like to get involved. We'll be right back.
BCSN is going from your home to your home screen. Now take your favorite live local sports with you wherever you go with the Watch BCSN app. Just download the app, and in moments you'll be streaming the BCSN networks live directly to your smartphone or tablet. Watch BCSN is available for both iOS and Android devices and is free for all Buckeye cable system subscribers.
So what's it like to call over 5,000 baseball games? Well, Jim Weber has done just that, and he's done it for so long and done so well that he recently got inducted into the International League Hall of Fame. I asked him to take me back to 1975, where it all began.
Well, actually, I started doing high school football and basketball back in, I think, 1969, and I'm a Toledo guy. I'm from this area. So I actually did that in Sylvania when they had one school. And then when we got around to 1975, I knew that the Mud Hens had not been on the air for 5 years, so I actually negotiated the first couple of deals, including the one with WSPD, which at the time was the biggest station in town. But that's kind of how it got started.
Jim Weber does play-by-play for all the Mud Hens games and works alongside Matt Melzak, a commentator who is very familiar with Toledo sports, calling the Walleye hockey games across the street. Matt and Jim have been working together for 5 years, and he told me why he thinks Jim is Hall of Fame worthy.
Well, I think for him, it's the style. It's the passion for the game. And, you know, you don't do 5,062 consecutive games just on not liking what you do or being into what you do. I think that's the biggest thing, is he has a passion for every game. He shows up. Every game is something to, you know, to him it's brand new, it's fun, it's exciting. And, you know, I think what makes him Hall of Fame worthy is just the way he calls the game, and he brings fans into it.
Says it is possible to crossbreed the two types of camels. One hump camel plus two hump camel equals a camel with one really large hump. It says it right here.
You know, he's got a story. He's talking about starting in Charleston, West Virginia in 1975, and the trains rumbling by and the whole press box shaking. And he adds that into what's going on in the game.
But tonight it's my pleasure to present this trophy to you on behalf of the directors of the league, recognize you of the newest member of the International League Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Knowledge of the game is one of the many reasons Jim Weber was recently inducted into the IL Hall of Fame. He told me that even for him, the induction was a bit nerve-wracking.
Especially when I can see all the people looking. You know, there could be 2 million listening or watching on TV. That doesn't bother me. But, you know, you're a little nervous because you know what a moment it is for yourself, your family, even the fans. Because Randy Mobley, our league president, mentioned the fact that I'm the only, not only the only broadcaster, but the only guy that's ever been inducted right from his hometown. You know, most of these guys came from somewhere else.
The Toledo native's sense of humor comes through the airwaves every game, and for Matt Melzak, one moment in particular sticks out.
I think the favorite one to me is we were doing a game and Scranton was in town, and the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, okay, and he was talking about how he would go to Scranton, and you know, it's been Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And that someone came up to him and said, "Hey, isn't it Scranton Wilkes Bar?" And he goes, "No, it's been Scranton Wilkes-Barre since Moby Dick was a minnow." And I lost it. You know, I just couldn't believe that he just fired that out and brought in some humor. And I just couldn't even control myself. I was laughing so hard.
So for someone who has become a seasoned veteran at broadcasting, why has Weber stayed in Toledo for so long?
You know, you could, but it really worked out great because I'm from here. The family's here, the daughters are here, the grandkids are here. It's unusual, but none of the family has left.
Jim's family was in attendance during his 5,000th game celebration, which he says was one of the highlight moments of his career.
Well, the back-to-back championships were the highlight, but then again, last Thursday night was pretty big too, and so was the 5,000 game celebration, as you probably remember from last August. So those are the real highlights. I mean, you can talk about all kinds of games, but when you've done 5,062 or 63, they start to run together.
Although these games tend to run together, I asked Jim what his favorite moment has been during his tenure as the Hens play-by-play announcer.
The 2005 championship, yeah, that's the biggest moment. And not only that, because I talked about how the 1980 team was the best that I had ever seen until 2005. That team finished like 34 games over 500. We may never see that again. Stang ready. And a balk,
a balk is called.
The balk is called and the game is over.
Fifth Third Field might never see a balk off again either, which just happened a few weeks ago. And Matt said was his pick for the best call to make in the last 5 years.
We couldn't find it. It was, I mean, we were happy that it happened, and Jim was calling the walk-off balk, and you know, and I was so excited in that moment too. And you just think about it, and we were looking back and trying to find it, and everybody was. And then all of a sudden, the whole press box is looking at the monitor and looking at the replay, and we're trying to see, and there's just a little bit of the glove movement. I don't know how in the world the umpire saw it. I don't know how. I don't even know, but Brandon Douglas was at the plate. He said he saw it. It was clear, and we're looking at it going, really? It's clear? Okay. So, you know, but I mean, the excitement that Jim had in that moment, and my excitement that was in there as well. We're both just kind of amped up for a walk-off balk. Fun moment.
You may not know that Jim Weber doesn't just call the hits, outs, and home runs. He makes the travel arrangements for the team in the offseason and hosts the pregame shows. His favorite part of his job? Bringing listeners in on the action.
Actually, the play-by-play, calling the plays. You know, interviews are okay, pregame stuff is okay, it's fun, but calling the game, which of course keeps me in the game, it keeps the fans in the game, and probably the best compliment I've ever received, and I hear it a lot, is when we're on the road, they always tell me, you know, I can see what's going on by the way you're calling the game. I can tell what's going on. You know, we might talk about which angle the sun's shining or who's playing back, who's in, whatever's going on. You try and pick all that up.
Broadcasters have different personalities, different styles, and ways of bringing viewers in. Matt Melzak says in his short time working with Jim on the baseball field, he learned how to be a better play-by-play guy in the ice arena.
From Jim, who went through, 20 years where they didn't win. A long time of not winning. And with more of a hockey background, I was used to playoff games just about every year. And then, you know, I got to working with Jim full-time last year, and I said to him about halfway through the year, we were in July last year, and, you know, it wasn't the best season going on here for the Hens. And I said to him, I go, how do you keep your enthusiasm up? You know where this, you know that this team, unless they go on some 35-5 finish, are not going to be a playoff team. Like, how do you keep yourself going? How do you keep the energy level high? And he said to me, it's just the love of the game. You love the game, so concentrate on the game itself. And it really helped me out this past year in the hockey when the walleye struggled. And we got into February and March, and you start seeing the writing on the wall, and you know what the end result is going to be. But so I just focused on the game, and it made me a better broadcaster at the end of a year that wasn't a great year.
Toledo may never see a broadcaster quite like Jim Weber, but for now, the legend is not going anywhere.
When are you going to retire? My answer is retire from what? You know, I mean, this is fun. So, no, I just keep going, and I figure I got another 1,000 or 2,000 in me yet, and it takes 7 years to get 1,000, so I guess that's the goal.
Well, that'll do it for this week's Light Side from Fifth Third Field. My name is Kate Longenecker, and I will see you next time.